you in all the land. And next to me, I have some great friends that are going to introduce themselves, starting with this beautiful lady to the left of me.
Well, I'm Nicole Ruffett. I'm wife of Guy Ruffett. I work with For Ashley, and we held a vigil outside of the D.C. jail for over 900 days until President Trump gave us the big pardon.
Next to Nicole is the man.
Uh-oh. I am Guy Wesley Ruffett, and I'm a J6 defendant. I was the very first trial for January 6th, and the first conviction through trial and the first sentencing through a trial, and I got 87 months for that before I was presidentially pardoned by Donald J. Trump.
Wow. I mean, somebody should really try and absorb that right now, what he had just said, and that he was incarcerated. And we're going to get a little deeper with Guy because his incarceration included many different jails. But right to the immediate left of Guy is Gary McBride and M5 News. You've seen him around here at the warehouse. What's happening, Gary?
Just chilling right now.
What's your plan, brother love?
We got a long road ahead of us first. And then we'll be doing some stuff out of Texas for the America First Warehouse and the podcasts.
Yeah, we really want the truth to come out. And there's another guy over here on the far side. He kind of looks a little bit like me. What's your name?
Yes, I am not Joe the Box. I'm John the Blanket, his twin brother. If anything out of this whole thing, that tragedy that's happened, I'm just happy to have friends like Guy and everybody else that I met through the whole thing. It's an honor, and family and friends for life.
That's right.
It's an honor to know you all. Thank God for you all.
What a group we have over here. I want to say that I know a couple of years back when we first got involved with the J6s, Johnny, you and I, we took our motorcycles and our trucks and we made some noise out in Queens Village for Cara Castronova.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know Cara Castronova, Gary McBride?
A little bit, yeah.
So what was she at the J6 day? Is that how she was involved? Was she reporting that day? Were you reporting that day?
I wasn't January 6th, no, but I know Kara was there.
Yeah. Cara was there.
Mm-hmm.
We went there because it was a fundraiser for her. She was running for a position in the New York State government.
Correct.
So we went to support her, and that's where we met Mickey, and it all got started for us with these guys.
Exactly. We went outside by the motorcycles, and Mickey was having out there just kicking back a little bit. She was having a great hair night. That I remember. I know.
She has great hair.
She does. She does.
She was out there
Amazing
smoking
hair.
cigarettes, but we didn't know who she was.
So, no, but what had happened, I was explaining to Nicole in the way back corner of the warehouse, and Guy, we have a little corner dedicated to Ashley Babbitt. And as before I met any of you, I was blown away that somebody was shot. I couldn't believe it when we heard it on January 6th because we wanted to go, and many of our friends were down there from the warehouse. But we said, we're going to show it here. We shared all of his events and everything else. And I really thought there was going to be a moment in history where it was going to change. And I'm going to go to Guy on this one because obviously you went from Texas to Washington, D.C. because you thought there was going to be a change.
Well, clearly there's a change now, but we were expecting something different when we got there. We were expecting a good rally, and then we were expecting the country to shift gears into a position we were more fond of because it was not looking too good in this country. So.
Yeah, and well, Guy, you came up from Texas. Did Nicole, you come with him on that day?
No, I had to work, and I stayed at home, watched it on television.
Did you see Guy on the steps of the Capitol?
We had a friend of one of the kids sent a TikTok of Guy on the steps of the Capitol, and I said, "Oh no, there he is," but he was safe.
Whoopsie.
And the unfortunate part, other than Guy going to jail, is it was our 18-year-old son at the time who had turned his dad in prior to January 6th. And while I'm there watching the events unfold, Jackson comes and says to me that he's going to go have coffee with his friends. I did not realize his friends were the FBI. Right. So he met with the FBI on January 6th. When Guy returned home on January 8th, Jackson began recording Guy in our home, asking him very pointed questions about the trip. And, it's just been very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That's got to be a tough thing. I can't imagine, how that can get passed. And I had no idea who Guy Reffitt was. And then the moment that I met him at the Freedom Corner, I was immediately blown away. His son's going to have no problem coming back to you. You will accept your son with open arms and forgiveness and love, because that's the way you two are. I mean,
So they already had an eye on you before you went there, because when I saw your stand wasn't on the steps, you were on the railing, I thought, right?
Yeah.
And,
Skateboarding?
I didn't see anything wrong, but the way they showed it, I was like, holy shit, this guy's got to be a badass. I can't wait to meet
Well,
him.
yeah.
Because at the time I was hanging out and I only heard a little bit
I feel
about
like
you.
I should
Then
be taller. I
Then
don't
when
know.
I met you, I was blown away. This guy is passive.
I did
and
think he was a little
honest.
taller when I
mean-
saw him.
I think if the video gives you 10 pounds and a little height, I don't understand what
It
happened.
kind of blew my mind how passive and what a great man you and the love for your country.
Well,
and,
thank you for that.
You paid
Family,
an
man,
ultimate
blows me
price,
away.
man, that we couldn't imagine.
So, Guy, you had you were in there. You raised your hands. I saw you. I saw the pictures and videos, and you come down from that. But you never really went into the Capitol until just the other day.
That is correct. That was my first time. Was yesterday, wasn't it? Or-
Monday, we
Monday.
toured the Capitol.
Really?
Monday we
Was it
walked into
tour
the
that you
Capitol. We
met
went
Trump
in
at?
the
Were you guys there
Capitol.
for that one?
That
Ray
time you
Ray
marched
Epps, we
in.
went in the Capitol on Monday. Okay,
Well, we were
The
waiting
doors were
4
open
years for that.
Like last time, the doors were open.
we actually took a professional tour.
Now there were a lot of
Right
guys
on.
that were in the Capitol, and of course, we most of them. When you first went in, was it at D.C.? Is that where you went? Did they take you from Texas to D.C.? Because listen, he bounced around. I know because I spoke to him. But I think that the real deep story after we get past, where we're talking about, is that prison reform and how bad it is.
Yeah, I mean, they arrested me in Texas, and I went into a county jail there, and I spent 21 days, I believe it was, there. And then they moved me. The attorney said he wouldn't fight it, that he was scared of the government, so that I'd have to go to D.C., and I'd have to deal with a case there. So they transported me from there to Oklahoma, to a facility there for about a month because of the ice storms that year. And then they finally got me to D.C., and I spent 19 months there. After being convicted at trial and sentenced, I left there and was headed to the BOP, went to another facility and transfer. Altogether, I went through 9 different facilities and 17 moves.
Reacclimate.
County jail to county jail. Out of 4 years, I only spent 3 months in the Bureau of Prisons. The rest of it was county jails all over, just to Oklahoma to Missouri, to D.C., just everywhere. It was what they call diesel therapy.
And you went through that process pleading not guilty.
That is correct. Yeah. To this day, I'm still pleading not guilty.
Yeah, of course not. There was nothing that you did wrong.
Charging you with insurrection.
Yeah, that was one of the things they charged me with. They charged me with a couple of obstruction charges. One of them was overturning the Supreme Court. The other one was attributed to my son's statements that he supposedly felt threatened against me, and 2 civil disorders. One of them was pretty common within the Jan 6 charges of the civil disorder charges. One of them, before me, it had never been charged to anybody but one person back in 2011. Very, very similar case in lots of aspects. And then there was a trespassing on the Capitol grounds with a dangerous or deadly weapon.
Which was a flag pole.
Well, it was just my anger.
I haven't seen
Apparently,
that.
if you ask some people, like my son, it can be kind of scary. Yeah. Most people don't see it, but he seems to see it.
I can't imagine it.
I
And
don't-
if it is there, I don't want to see it either. But I will tell you this: Nicole, did you follow Guy around to the different prisons as he was being transferred?
No, I stayed in D.C., supported Mickey Whithoff and the cause there. At the time, when they took Guy, I didn't see him for 14 months, did not see his face. And then in the county facilities, they only had visitation through glass and over the phone. So only got to hug Guy once in the 4 years that they held him. And our oldest daughter, she never got to hug him from the time they took him until he was released.
Yeah. When I was finally pardoned by President Trump, I finally got to hug my eldest daughter. And that's 4 years. 4 years.
Incredible girls, too. I had enjoyed my
Amazing.
time with them as well. They were,
Yeah. I love my daughters and my wife and my
Yeah.
kids so much.
Yeah.
I know you do, bro.
It's awesome. It's awesome to be home with them. I'm wearing my arms out with hugs, but I
happy
hope
for
it's
you,
not
yeah.
hurting them too much.
That's good.
So when you finally got pardoned, you were in Texas, or where were you?
I was in Oklahoma in a facility there.
Yeah.
I had been to that facility twice before.
Of your time, did you get thrown into the isolation or whatever they call it?
In D.C. jail, I was in the hole for
Solitary.
35 days. But for the most part, we were originally in D.C. jail. We were in isolation for 227 days of 23 to 24-hour lockdown every day. Sometimes we would get to come out for a 15-minute phone call and a 15-minute shower. Ultimately, we were in our cells, isolated by ourselves for 227 days.
I can't believe this. So I wouldn't even know
That was
how to
the
think
DC
about that.
jail?
Go crazy.
That was in the.
Yeah, the gulag.
No
So
haircuts.
so they
no
let you out
Yeah,
for a
the DC
shower or something like that? They didn't let you.
Well, they have to let you out every couple of 2 or 3 days to give you an opportunity.
2 or 3
to take a
days
shower.
let you out.
You have to wait. You have to wait until they can get those days in for it. They're not supposed to go over 2. Sometimes they would go 3 days before they would allow you to shower.
Was that because they knew you were a J6er?
Well, they knew that we were J6ers. Yeah.
Was there harsher treatment because of that versus
Absolutely.
a murderer? An
Yeah,
actual murderer?
Yeah, I mean,
Rapist.
actually, in a lot of cases, people that are on death row do not get treated the way we did.
That was because it's in D.C.
Yeah, and we were pre-trial, so a pre-trial detainee is never supposed to be treated the way we were treated, like people that were on death row. As a
Convicted.
pre-trial, we weren't even convicted at the time. And even though we were convicted, it was a bunch of garbage convictions anyway by these juries in D.C. that were going to convict us anyway.
This is one of the toughest times, although my brother at CPAC has said it's the greatest time to be an American. And he was really taken back by Steve Bannon and the group because absolutely right if you see what Trump has done in the short period of time. I just want to bring everybody's attention. In the studio today, we have the J6ers that are right at the forefront. Mickey Whithoff is not here, but her good friend right here, Nicole Reffett, has been at that Freedom Corner, and I've been there to see it, and I want to support 4ashley.com. Go to 4ashley.com. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Just like a real studio.